Hi and welcome to this video. Today we're going to proceed with Helbrechts Power Sword, and we're going to paint it in a classic non-metallic metal style. The colors you see in the palette are black, German grey, basalt grey, neutral grey and blue grey, all from AK Interactive 3rd generation acrylics. And we're starting off with blocking in the main highlight areas with German grey. So what I do on this kind of style is to start off by blocking in parts I want to be the highlight area. At first you start on a very big area. By the end, when we are finished, there is not going to be much of black on the sword. The paint is, as always, pretty diluted, so around 50-50. And as you can see, I push the very thin paint always towards the area where I want to highlight to be the brightest. So apart from that, there's not much to tell so far, so I just let you watch what I do, and I'll tune in as soon as there's something interesting to talk about. So we're already going up to neutral gray, and this will be quite a jump in brightness, but as long as you still have some contrast visible, the effect will work. So you could really, if you wanted, paint the whole sword in a lighter gray than I did, and you don't have to keep any parts of the sword black, and you would either way be able to achieve a very cool effect in my opinion, but at this stage I thought it would be beneficial to let some parts of the sword still very dark. Also, we're doing this with a more classic color scheme. Since these are power weapons and there is no particular right or wrong approach to this, you can do this with any kind of color set you want. You can make red, green, purple, pink power swords, blue power swords. I just chose a bit more neutral colors with only the blue-gray, which I'm painting in right now, having a bit more color in it, because I think it's a very good contrast to the rest of the mini. The blue-gray helps a bit with giving the whole sword a slight blue touch. So maybe that we give the effect of some of the external lighting reflecting the lightest areas. I also already do some edge highlighting at this point. It's the same as with the armor or pretty much any part which you paint in this effect, is that this edge highlighting helps a lot with giving you an orientation, how your finished effect will look, and it immediately increases the shininess on the part you're painting. And so I like to do it pretty early, although we are going to go a step lighter than this. but it still is very beneficial to already put it in just to have some kind of control over the effect and the brightness. Also at this stage it is pretty easy to correct slight mistakes you may make. You will see me later make a pretty big mistake with the highest highlight, and at this point it's still pretty easy to repair any kind of failure you have while painting this, and so don't be afraid, just start. There's with something as simple as this never a stage where you could not correct any kind of mistake you make while painting this. Still, as I said before, what is pretty important to push the paint into the area where you want the highlight to be the strongest. So I tend to paint in both directions. When painting a sword, so everywhere where you have enough room to move your brush freely, I like to approach the highlight from both sides. And as you can already see, kind of works already, even at this early stage. So now you see me, so now you see me adding a small drop of ice yellow and mixing it with some water and the blue-gray. I mix in some more of the blue-gray mix I already had on the palette. And this mixture will be our final highlight color. I opted for ice yellow because I wanted to integrate some of the color we already have on the armor, just to yeah, pull the whole piece together. And I think it worked out really beautiful. That's the mistake I was talking about before. And at this stage it's pretty easy to just go back to the black and paint over it as soon as it dried. Here you can see me again pushing the paint from both directions right into the area where I want the highlight to be the brightest. This is really all of the blending I do at this stage. And later we are going to blend in a bit more with glazes, but it would totally be fine to just stop at this stage and call it done, especially if you're doing it maybe for a whole army and you're going to paint 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 miniatures with this kind of sword effect, or in this style, you would be able to achieve a pretty good looking effect in a few hours. Probably even more minutes, as soon as you get the hang of it. Yeah, and as you can see, just go back in with some black. And the mistake is gone. Well, next up, we mix at first one glaze. I think it's neutral gray. And really the only thing that is important at this stage is to add a lot of water to the color, especially these AK colors have a lot of pigment in them and are very dense or very intense. So if you want to make a glaze out of them, you really need to water them down. And yeah, then you decide with which color you want to start. I started with neutral gray. Mainly you want to start painting from the darker, not the darkest area, into the lighter area, but take off your brush right before the sky blue and especially the ice yellow blue-gray highlights, not sky blue, blue-gray. Just to bring the colors a bit more together and make smoother blends. And now add a bit black to the mixed glaze to bring down the color a notch, and now I'm going to proceed into the shadow areas. Some more final edge highlighting. yeah, that's the finished sword, and I hope you liked this video, and I highly suggest you to try this effect out. It's, I think, pretty easy to replicate, and yeah, hope you have fun doing it. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, I would like to hear them. So please send me a message or leave a comment. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.